So thanks so much for joining us today. We're really excited to chat with you. My name is Austin Blass, and I am the Director of Corporate Marketing here at Robin. And walking you through the updates today will be Ciara Peter, who is our SVP of Product. So a couple of quick notes before we jump into things today. This webinar is being recorded, so you will receive the recording shortly after, either later today or tomorrow. Feel free to drop questions in the Q&A section. We'll do our best to answer questions on the call today, but we will make sure to follow up with you afterwards if we don't get to your question today. So today we'll be jumping into some highlights from the end of the year last year that came out in the product, and then Ciara is going to walk through some exciting product roadmap updates, and then we'll finish things off with some Q&A. So with that, I will pass it over to you, Ciara.
Great. Thanks, Austin. And thanks so much to everybody for being here today. I know that your time is valuable, so hopefully you're happy with some of the new innovation that we can share with you. So we're going to start with a little quiz. Okay, got it. All right, so we launched something called custom resources last year. And a custom resource, we'd heard that you wanted to be able to make more than desks and spaces bookable within Robin. And so we created something called the custom resource, where you could make anything reservable show up on the map. And our poll, we want to ask you what you think was the most popular custom resource that was reserved last year. Any other guesses? All right, it's a tie game. And I'm also curious, please feel free to follow up with us after on what custom resource might be interesting for your organization. Are we locked in? Give me just a minute here. Austin, are you there? And can you move us back to the slide deck? Okay, so the results are in. I think a lot of you are on the right track, but our most popular, aside from parking, because parking was number one by far, lockers, study nooks, and iPads. So these are all things that you can create, make reservable, apply policies to, place on your map, and really just kind of get creative with, depending on the needs of your organization. Everybody has access to this, so feel free to try creating a custom resource. You can do this from the layout tool, and you have a lot of flexibility in what you're able to create, and you can try it without any risk. You don't have to put anything on the map, just to sort of test it out and see if it's useful to you. I will share some other things that might be useful to you. So one of our big releases was around our map. A lot of you probably noticed some changes to the main map experience on both the web and our mobile app. And this edit made our map 4 times faster. Hopefully you're seeing that performance improvement. As of last week, you're also able to see a list of reservations available from the map. So this was very easy to see in the work week view, but now from the right panel, if you click on the date, you can see all of your reservations across desk spaces and custom resources in one list from that map view. And you can also see suggested spaces for any day that you're coming in and you might be missing a space for your meetings. You can go ahead and click those, click all. We look at your past reservations and your preferences to do that. We've also added layers to the map, which is the image that you see here on the left. So you can toggle off and on layers. And something I think that I didn't include here, but is something that we're working on, is we've heard from some of you that when you zoom into a specific room or desk, sometimes that zoom is a little bit jarring. And so we're going to give you the option to choose whether we auto zoom in on that resource or not. We have a new Chrome extension for desk and room booking, which is very similar to our Outlook extension. If you're familiar with that, we'll give you a little demo of that. And then for scenario planning, which is the ability to collaboratively create assignment plans, we've added a few enhancements. One is a collaborator role. So some of you had shared that you want the ability for people in the organization to collaborate on the designs. You might have multiple department leaders, operations folks that you want to have input, but you don't necessarily want them to be able to publish the scenario plan. Now you can add them as collaborators. And as of just a few days ago, we also have a change log, which shows every change that was made to the plan so that you can go back and kind of audit and you can see who made the plan, made the change, what the change was, and when it was made. And we also just went into early access with meeting buffers. I will explain exactly what that is in just a few slides. To frame up what we've been working on and how we approach our strategy, we really aim to be an intelligent platform for workplace management that is super unified so you can get everything done in one place. That is powered by AI to make better decisions on your behalf. The three pillars are plan, manage, and use. Plan refers to being smart about space configuration and giving you the insights you need to make better decisions. And the theme for plan this year is automating a lot of those tedious tasks, like when people join and leave the organization, automating communications around moves, introducing things like asset management to just make sure that Robin is your source of truth for your maps, for your seating, and make it really easy so that you can save a couple of hours a week on these tasks that are probably not very enjoyable. Manage, our theme here is really being that single source of truth. And so if you've been with us for a while, you've noticed that we've gone far beyond desk and space bookings and introduced a visitor management experience, delivery management, meeting services to ensure catering, AV, room setup are all successful. And now what we want to do is ensure that these are not siloed experiences, that you as a workplace operator or your teams have one single list, a place to go to see everything that you're responsible for taking care of that day. The last pillar, use, is ensuring that we continue to really prioritize having an amazing end user experience, not just with the design of our applications, but making sure we're really meeting people where they are. And a big theme for use this year is automating the experience so that we can go from having to book every resource to really not having to plan it at all. Everyone just your employees can just show up at the office and have everything they need, and really, really easy to find their resources for that day. So let's start with the Chrome extension. The Chrome extension is intended to ensure that your users never have to leave Chrome to get rooms and desks if that's their preference. We're going to show a video from one of our product managers, Milo, to share how this works.
Hi, today I'm going to show you how to add a space to a meeting in Google Calendar using Robin's Google Chrome extension. I'm going to start by creating my meeting here in Google Calendar. We'll call this board meeting. And I'm going to add my guests. And I'm going to go up here to this extension where I keep this in Chrome. It's going to go grab the organization's data, including which rooms are free or busy right now. And this looks like a good room for my meeting. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that to the event. I can change the room if I want to. I can always remove it, or I can even add multiple spaces to the event if I'm coordinating a larger meeting. And everything looks pretty good here. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to send it out, invite all my guests, and that's it. It really is that easy.
This is available to everybody and every customer today. So if you are a Google shop, feel free to go to the Chrome store, and I hope that's what it's called. Go ahead and install it and try it out. One of the things I love about it is it changes in real time. So if you're adding or removing guests, it will update the recommended rooms to ensure that you're really getting the right size room for your meeting. Next, I want to talk about our updated mobile app. And the headline for users and admins is really important. Our mobile app has primarily been end user focused, and we continue to put a lot of energy into making that experience great. But we also want to make life easier for admins. And so I'll walk through a couple of different enhancements. First, you'll see improved suggestions. So when you log into the mobile app, if you don't have a desk, don't have spaces, we will serve those to you in a really obvious, easy way from the landing page experience to make sure you have everything you need. And we've also implemented this faster map experience. So that same map I talked about on the web is also available here, and it should make it much faster to load the mobile app. We've also added a workplace tab. I should mention the map tab you see here, it used to be called Office. We've just changed the name. Nothing else has changed. Now you'll see this workplace tab, and this houses a lot of the great employee experience and admin elements of Robin that weren't previously available on the mobile app. So I'm going to highlight a couple of them here in a little bit of detail. One, announcements. So you've always been able to see your announcements, acknowledge the announcements, get push notifications in the mobile app. But now for admins, you can create an announcement directly from the mobile app. As we know, a lot of things happen in real time. You're not always at your desktop, and you might need to let people know in the office that something has taken place. And so you can create the announcement from here, and you have the ability to make it a priority announcement. All of the different settings that you have from your web experience are available in mobile now. And I also want to talk about scanning and tracking deliveries. So this is for both the admin and the end user. So one, I'll talk about the admin first. When deliveries come in, this can be a painfully slow process if you're entering them manually. So you definitely can do that, but you can actually just scan them directly from our mobile app. This will understand first and last name, who the carrier is, and we've also enhanced our technology. If anyone was using our previous, we had a single app just for deliveries. We've gone from kind of a traditional OCR to using Gemini AI to improve the performance and accuracy of these scans. So it's very easy, and you can just scan those in and they will be routed to the right person. And then for the end user, you can see all of the deliveries that you're responsible for picking up. And we also are very soon implementing the ability to customize how frequently your users receive reminders for deliveries. Deliveries are available with the visitor package, or if you have an end-to-end Robin license, deliveries are there for you. Finally, I want to mention visitor management is coming soon to mobile, and I will share more detail about that in our roadmap section. All right, the last thing I want to talk about here in recent releases, this is actually early access. So if you are not seeing it in your organization, that's why. But anyone who's interested, please message your CSM and we can enable this for you. So the meeting buffers are available to every customer. And the purpose of a meeting buffer is you have a lot of meetings that need setup and tear down. And maybe you add a meeting service, maybe not. But this allows you, when you're creating a meeting in Robin, to add buffer times to the start and the end of the meeting. What that does is gives you these diagonal lines here that you can see from Robin that will block the space. And then within your calendar platform, whether that's Outlook or Google, that will create a meeting that also blocks off the time so that nobody else can be in the room during that time period. Let's move into the roadmap. So I'm going to cover roadmap probably shorter term. I would say everything we see here is the first half of the year. So the first thing I want to talk about is CAD file uploading and editing. So this is part of that plan experience, just eliminating tedious tasks, making sure that you have to spend less time in Robin, less time waiting. And if you're an existing customer, your first thought might be, well, I already have a map in the system, so that this doesn't matter to me, but it does, and I'll share why. So the first part of this will be the ability to upload CAD files. Currently, the process is to send these to us. We usually have a pretty fast turnaround time, about 24 hours, 1 to 2 days. But this allows you to actually just upload that CAD file, and we will render it within minutes. Now you render the CAD file. This uses AI. It may not be 100% perfect. There's trade-offs, right? If you upload a PNG, an SVG, you get that exact map, but you can't edit. It doesn't scale the right way. With CAD, you actually can have this really scalable map. You can turn off and on different layers. So if your architect gives you a really complicated file, you can choose which layers appear. But with that, you may have things that you want to edit after upload. And so what you see in this Q2 on the left here is actually the ability to inline edit your walls and borders. So if you're a Robin user today, you know about our layout tool. There's a WYSIWYG drag and drop of your furniture, desk, a lot of resources, points of interest. And now that will extend to walls and borders on your map if you do provide us with that CAD file originally. So this is also available in a very early access. So if you're interested in this, please reach out to your CSM. We would love to get your feedback on it, but expect to be able to see this within Robin in the next about 2 months. You'll see this around late February, early March. Another priority for this kind of plan concept is we actually hear from you. It's a little bit ironic that we use the term plan because many of you do use Robin for long-term planning, but what we hear actually the pain points are more of those day-to-day use cases, and move management is a big one. So we are working on ensuring moves are really easy. So first of all, the ability to lock floor plans before publishing. Why would you want to do this? The reason you want to do this is today in Robin, you have very flexible collaborative assignment tool, but once that plan is done, you can either leave it in draft or publish it. There's not that kind of in-between state. That is not the ideal experience for somebody who is either implementing the move or being moved. They want a heads up. If I've been in a desk for 3 years and somebody's moving me to a different place as the employee, I want to know about it so I can get prepared. So locking of the plan allows you to lock that plan and then share the plan with anybody who's impacted by it. What this is going to be is a view-only version of that map of the floor that the person will be sitting, or for the movers, the multiple floors involved. And they'll be able to view that within Robin. If anyone's an existing customer and you heard multiple floors, yes, it is true. Now you'll be able to create scenario plans across floors within the same plan. Previously, it's been kind of a floor-by-floor planning, but to really get these moves to be successful at scale, you'll want many floors in one plan. So that will be coming soon as well. Then we will automatically email affected employees if that is the setting that you choose to have on, and you'll be able to customize that email message to give them any special instructions they need to see. Switching gears into manage, let's talk about visitor management. We are really thinking about that front desk experience, making bulk visits really easy, and sort of seeing the analytics on your visits, and also any workflows that you need to that you'll need around your visitor experience. So a couple things that you have to look forward to are bulk actions for reception teams. So as of today, you can print badges in bulk. That is from the web app, and multi-selection of visits and cancellations. And you also see visitor management on mobile. So what that is going to look like is, one, the ability to create visits directly from your mobile app. Right as of today, you can create a visit from the web app. From the Outlook add-in is also very easy. So if you are an Outlook user and a visitor user and you haven't tried that, please do. It's a pretty delightful experience, but now you'll be able to do this on mobile. So creating and adding your visitors from mobile, as well as viewing them, checking them in, all of the key actions that are necessary to have a successful visit experience. And finally, visitor management analytics. So the main goals we're really looking at in the near term are understanding the peak days, so in the past as well as coming up, so you can be prepared for the change to your office's occupancy for that day. For our end users, I'm really excited about the agent innovation that we're working on. And within the mobile app, in the next month or two, what you will see is an AI assistant. We've been pretty thoughtful about how to build an AI assistant to make sure that it is useful. I think, LLMs are available to anyone. And we thought pretty hard about what the most valuable experience would be for our users. So what you will see with the first iteration of the agent is a plan my week experience. So this is great for end users, so they don't have to do a lot of thinking. And currently we have automatic desk booking. That depends on the user inputting the days that they're going to come in. So I come in on Tuesday and Thursday, please automatically book me my desk. The agent is going to take it a step further and be even smarter. And when you ask it to plan the week, it will look at your patterns for the last 30 days. It will indicate that for this last period of time, you've been coming in on these days XYZ, is that correct? And then suggest desks based on really your most recent pattern. So it continues to learn. And then we will expand that to meeting suggestions. We want you, when this comes out, to try different things. So even though it'll be pretty desk-centric, we want to see what you're really interested in from this agent. And for any AI geeks out there, we also have an MCP server, and we're looking for partners and different integration use cases. So please let us know if you have any ideas. The last bullet here you'll see is preferred working hours. So that has nothing to do necessarily with the agent, but it is another automation experience that I think will be really helpful. So right now you have your office open and close hours, and those don't necessarily align to when you come in. So the office might actually open at 6 a.m. and you come in at 9:30. Your reservations today default to the office opening time. And what this allows you to do is set your working hours so that your reservations default to those hours. But we're actually going to go ahead and do that for you. So we will look at your patterns, and we'll have, when you go to create a reservation, we will just set the start time of that reservation to the time that you usually come in. The benefit of this really is a lot of people lose their reservations. So if you book it for 6 a.m. and there is an abandoned desk policy, you might lose your desk. And that is really unfortunate for employees that need that resource, but it also makes your analytics less accurate. And so this enhancement will improve both the employee experience and your analytics, so you have a really accurate view of what has taken place in your office. The final thing I want to highlight that is coming soon is a new and improved web app navigation. So this, we will give all admins a heads up about a month before this launches. But this, basically we're taking the top navigation and moving it to the left side. Right now in our web app, some pages have 1, 2, even 3 layers of navigation. That in itself is a poor user experience. But another bonus of this is that we're moving all of our pages to the same technology. Everything will be in React for those who are interested, but we're all moving everything to kind of like the same app experience. So this will result in a much faster loading application. And you can also choose your preferred homepage. Right now, everybody can do that from their profile page. We give you a couple of options. Now any homepage will be your option. So if you're an admin and you spend a lot of time in the meeting rooms page or the workplace dashboard, we can take you directly there when you come to Robin. So that is extremely easy to set for you and hopefully makes your experience even more contextual. So those are the things that we're excited about in the short term, and would love to answer any questions that you have.
Awesome. Thanks, CR. We do have a handful of questions. So first one is about custom resources. We have scooters on campus for employees to borrow. Can we use custom resources for that?
A scooter is a great example. As you saw in our poll, trucks was one of the popular ones. And so anything that is a limited resource, those tend to get booked up really fast. So a scooter is a perfect example. You can see, who is in possession of it at that time. Check it in, and it's anything that you can imagine can be a resource. We have things like printers that people want to keep track of. And I'm now realizing I may not have mentioned it because it's going to be a little bit further out, but we're going to build technology that lets you track these more as assets as well. So anyone who's in that kind of uses a CAFM or an IWMS and you want an inventory of what's on campus, you will be able to have a really lightweight version of that. So just another reason that, another way to sort of keep track of all these valuable assets within your organization.
All right. Can meeting buffers be enabled or configured on a room-by-room basis?
So meeting buffers, I don't recall if they can be configured on a room-by-room basis, but they are configured on a per meeting basis. As far as I know, I don't think the first release has only certain rooms can or cannot have buffers. What I'm inferring from this question is probably like something that's booked in a certain room always needs a buffer. So let us know if my inference is right, but I'll take that back to the team as a question and feedback.
All right. Two-part question for this one. Is the AI agent a paid or free feature for all users? And the second part is, do you train the agent on customer data?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, our agent will be available to all customers. I believe that we've been using LLMs for a couple of years. People are getting really, really used to a chat interface and conversational interface, and this just reflects part of the shift in how people are using software and technology. So this user agent will be included and free and available for all customers. And then do we train? Okay, so this is a security question. Your data is safe. We do not use your data. We don't use your data to train across customers. All of your data stays within your instance, but we don't use your data for training.
Great. And another participant had asked about images scanned with deliveries. Is that the same case, them not being used to train the AI models?
Yeah, we're not using that. Fortunately, the tech we're using, billions of labels and packages have already been scanned to inform the AI. We do not keep a record of this at all. So we just use the tech to basically read the label. And then what we store is the output of that. So the names, the carriers, numbers, etc.
Okay. Final question, and there's some more specific questions that we'll make sure to follow up with everyone individually after the webinar. Is there an option to print or export floor plans?
There is not an option to print or export in any more fidelity than you have today. So, today you would screenshot the floor plan, which is not necessarily the scale that you want. I acknowledge that this is an important request. Not everybody is walking around with a tablet when they're implementing these changes. I think one thing that would be useful for a move is an export that we're building that just shows, the before and afters. Actually, that's available today. Apologies. So you can export that directly from the scenario plan. But I do recognize that you might want a larger scale version of the map. So today, the best would be to view Robin from a tablet.
Okay. And like I said, there were some more specific questions. We'll make sure that our team follows up with each of you individually in the next day or two. So that wraps things up for us. Thanks so much for spending part of your day with us. If you have any questions, if you're a current customer or prospective customer, please reach out to your CSM or the Robin team here. And thank you so much. We hope you have a great rest of your day.